The Upshot is presented by Pound Disc Golf, makers of the best bags in the sport. Now, you know I like a smaller bag. I carry a Pound toolbox around the course, but I am getting a little tired of lugging the bag and having to carry it in my hand. Well, good news, small bag lovers, because I have it on good authority that the Rufus, the new smaller bag from Pound, is coming soon. So keep your eyes peeled to Pound Disc Golf's social media to see when you'll be able to get your hands on the new Rufus. I know I will have one. PoundDiscGolf.com. Joining us now for our Upshot interview series is Harper Alexander, who is an officer for the San Francisco Disc Golf Club. He is also the coiner of the phrase Halo Polecat and the creator of Polecat Worlds. Hey, Harper, I see you've got the t-shirt on. I need
Always,
to get some Polecat Worlds merch. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me, Charlie and Josh. And, to be honest, it's a huge honor to be on. I listen to you guys every week in the kitchen doing dishes, taking the kids to school, playing disc golf. So very, very happy to be on.
So I think it would be great to hear a little bit first about your background in disc golf, how you got started playing. We'll get a chance to talk plenty about the Polecat in a bit, but
Sure.
what's your history in the sport?
Yeah, I actually first played disc golf in probably 1994, 1995. When I was in high school, I went to high school at Paideia in Atlanta, which is, well known in the ultimate Frisbee world for being kind of an OG high school ultimate program. And so I was in that initial early mix of like the ground floor of high school ultimate there. And on our weekends and off days and whatnot, we would go out to a park out in sort of suburban Atlanta, Redan Park, and play disc golf. And, there was a little shop in town where you could buy discs at IFO. And I bought a rock, a cobra, and a shark, as one does back in the mid 90s. And we were off, and we were all terrible at it, more or less. But it was foundational for me in terms of throwing, along with playing ultimate, starting at like age 14.
And so did you or do you continue to play ultimate throughout that time that you were playing disc golf, or did it become pretty disc golf exclusive?
No, it was actually ultimate exclusive forever, so from all the way through high school, and then all the way through college, I went to Brown and won a national title at Brown my sophomore year. Played a little bit of mixed and co-ed, out of school, went to nationals twice in the mixed division, and then pretty much stopped playing ultimate when I was like 27 or so. I was living in New York. It was, kind of a hassle to get to fields, and it was also hard to recreate.
Still is, Harper.
Still is, I'm sure.
Is.
Yeah.
Nothing's
I used to go over to that east side, whatever that east side field complex is
East
over on
River
the East
Park.
River.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Huge pain in the ass to get over there, as you well know. And then, frankly, it was tough kind of, mentally and emotionally to recreate the good times that I had at the high school level and at Brown. Those were two incredible groups of friends and incredible teams, and just couldn't really recreate that as an adult trying to hold down a job and friends and other stuff. So I let ultimate go after about 13 years of ultimate. And then didn't really get back into real disc golf until 2016. It was like summer and fall of 2016. I realized that I was in San Francisco and I lived about 3 miles from the Golden Gate Park disc golf course. And I just went out one day and fell back into it, started buying up all the discs, had that initial like fever and deep crush that you get at the very beginning. And so from 2016 till now, I've been super, super into it. And it's my main kind of outdoor hobby and free time hobby.
Just for some context for folks, Paideia is like the high school program of programs, and Harper was on the OG team, the original first team, which is amazing. Was Baccarini coaching even back then?
So the very, very first coach there was a woman named Jamie. I'm blanking on her last name, but she was a teacher at Paideia. She started the team, I want to say in 94, and I went out, I was in 8th grade, but somehow I knew the high school kids or whatever. So I actually went out and played a couple tournaments when Jamie Epstein was the coach. And then Michael took over the coaching in 95, my freshman year in high school. And that was really, Jamie was great and she kicked it all off, but then Michael really took it to another level, as you know, over the last, 3 decades or whatever it is. And so I was on the OG Michael team and then had a little, like wet my beak on the OG Jamie team the year before that.
I wonder if we're ever going to have a disc golf, like breeding ground of elite players that is like Paideia has been to Ultimate, which is, multiple college champions and world games level international players out of this single high school in Atlanta. I don't know if we have that yet in disc golf, but I do think that like somewhere in Finland, we're going to get that. We're going to have some training academy that just starts churning out stars.
Yeah, I've heard you guys talk about college disc golf. It's kind of amazing to me that that actually hasn't taken off as much as I think it will in the next decade or so. I think college disc golf is a frontier for that. And then I think, girls getting into disc golf too. Like, I think there's real, obviously the men's field now is so deep and so good. The women's field is getting there. But I think, if you were a father of a girl who's 10 or 12, she could be a star in 5 years. And I think that sort of breeding ground could be really fertile for getting girls into disc golf and disc sports.
And then just another quick plug. Brown's team in 2000 that you won a championship with, Harper. That's like a legendary college program, like Hall of Famers from the team. Brown actually, just for our disc golf audience, Brown actually just won the college championships again in 2019. They were in the semifinals in 2021. Has it been fun for you to see them kind of resurge back to the top of the division?
Yeah, the 2000 team was legendary, and there's been a lot of great teams since then, but that was one of the sort of all-time teams. Fortunat Mueller, Justin Safdie both won Callahan's back-to-back. Moses Rifkin was a star at college and club level for decades. And those are some of my best friends to date. The Brown title, well, for one thing, the Zip title in 2005, Zip and Will Arnold and those guys were freshmen when I was a senior. And then the 2019 title, I was actually there. I flew out spur of the moment to Austin to go to that championships and root them on in the finals. It's been awesome for the alums to support the program and, give money, give time, give expertise, just support anything we can do, be there and cheer. And the program's going strong now.
All right. So Polecat time.
Let's do it.
So you came up with Halo Polecat, which is now, it's gone from like pure meme to like people are posting about it online and talking about when are we getting the Halo Polecat, and we've joked about it on the show.
When are we getting it?
I still have heard no answers. It's a conspicuous silence from Innova on this. But what prompted your interest in the Polecat? Let's start with that.
Sure. So my interest in the Polecat, it started and maintains to be like an actual useful disc for me at Golden Gate Park. So prior to any, meme stuff online or messing with Innova online or Halo stuff or anything like that, prior to any Halo discs ever existing, I bought a Polecat off a dude in Golden Gate Park for $5 and realized that, there was just zero fade to it. It would grab the ground and stop. And so if you've had a bad kick or a bad drive or something like that, and you're 85 feet away from the pin and you are trying to lay up for par, I found that better than some other putter or a gator or a pig or whatever it's going to be, this was a thing that would just lay up and take your 4-foot walk away par. And so I started throwing it and bagging it for real, unironically. And then, really the Halo thing started, I think, just out of boredom during the pandemic. They started coming out with the Halo Destroyers and Valkyries and Shrikes and all that stuff. And I just started messing with them online. And really, the Halo Polecat thing, it basically just combines two of my favorite things, which is like disc golf related, whatever, and then being sort of gently but forcefully and repeatedly obnoxious online. And, the rest is history. And now it's taken off, and there's tens or hundreds of people kind of, again, gently but forcefully reminding Innova that we want a Halo Polecat.
So the Polecat, I know, is something that it's not the most in demand disc, at least, especially prior to your Halo Polecat memes. Is it hard to find Polecats now to buy?
I mean,
oh no,
it's not hard to find if you come to my house and you, if you want to come to the San Francisco Disc Golf Club, we've got plenty. But I think in general, it was hard to find, and now you find, DX Polecats with the new stamp, especially. You can find them on various sites and eBay and whatnot. I mean, people are out there selling them now, I think, because they realize there's a market for them. But I think at some point it was hard to find, and also they're not for everybody. I don't think, unfortunately, they're for most pros, because most pros are playing through longer courses and more wind, and they're also running 85-foot putts, as opposed to me trying to get my gentleman's 3 and walk away.
So just, for those who maybe aren't super familiar with the Polecat, 1300. So
1300.
Like dead straight.
Very
how
straight,
does it
very
compare
slow
to another disc that was very popular? I don't know how popular it is now, but Paul Macbeth used to bag a Nova. And that is also known to be a very straight point and shoot type of disc. Can you compare those two for us?
Yeah, I messed around with Novas a little bit, and a brand new Nova straight out of the box, no tree hits, no dings, no scratches, no nothing, is really fun to throw. Although to me, with the interesting plastic feel and the two-part kind of molding, to me, in a weird way, it almost felt like a Fisher-Price type disc, like a toy kind of thing. It just felt like you were throwing something that was meant for an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old. And it's also the Nova is taller for sure. And so even though, the Polecat is taller than some discs, but it's actually not as tall nearly as a Nova. And so I think it fits in the hand better. And also, to my point earlier, when it breaks in, it gets better, as opposed to, in my opinion, once the Nova is off, once it's been tacoed a little bit or hit a tree, for me, it became really unreliable and hard to figure out where it was going to go on any given throw.
How does the Polecat beat in?
Oh, beautifully, Charlie. It beats in, to mix metaphors, it beats in like a fine wine. It's, so many disc golf discs fade, right, as they're meant to do. And you can slide away or skip away. And for a Polecat, if you're trying to do, as a right-handed backhand, a sort of left to right turn around a tree or around an obstacle or anything like that, you can actually beat it in where, you've got one that goes straight, you've got one straight out of the bag that goes left, you've got one that turns right around trees. And I find they beat in really nice.
All right. So Polecat Worlds, where did this come from? And tell us a little bit about the history and the future of this tournament.
Yeah, well, the history of Polecat Worlds is like anything beautiful and wonderful. It started sort of unintentionally and unseriously. Summer 2019, I just put a call out on the SFDGC Facebook page. Let's go do a Polecat only round, Polecats only at Golden Gate Park. And then, as we were kind of messing around with it online, that became one Polecat only. So you really, with the World Championships, it's literally you get your single disc. It could be a G-Star Polecat, a Champion Polecat, a DX Polecat, XT Polecat, but you only bring one, and you have to do every single shot of the round with that single Polecat. And so, like I said, 2019 summer, me and 9 friends went out, shot the whole round. Myself and 2 friends of mine tied for the first ever World Championships with a par score at Golden Gate Park, 54. And, basically the rest is history. I mean, an annual event was born. We had 48 players in 2020 and 67 last year. And this year, for sure, we're going to top 100.
That's amazing.
So
are people coming from further away?
No,
Sorry,
you're fine,
Josh, I'm running over you. Are people coming from outside of the San Francisco Bay Area to play in this, or is this just still kind of like a local fun little activity?
I think this year they will. Yeah, this is going to be our first year with outside the Bay Area people coming to Golden Gate Park to play the course. It'll also be the first year that we're going to do it over multiple days, because basically we've just been doing it guerrilla style, get to the course in sort of a semi-organized way. I set up informal tee times and say, hey, you're playing here, get there, play the round, start, blah, blah, blah. But last year with 67 players, that was really the most that we could cram into a public course. And we're not going to pull a permit or anything like that. So really it's, this year it's going to be, you can play the course. The course will stay the same. The layout will stay the same over 3 days. Play your round anytime in those 3 days. We'll have it on UDisc. And it's May 16th to 18th. And yes, out-of-towners coming, sponsors getting involved, hopefully Juliana Korver and many other pros playing the event. So fingers crossed for all of that.
Is Juliana Korver registered to play?
Oh, registered. I mean, that's a big word, but she's given a soft commit to my buddy Corey Mural on his video series where she said she was interested. I've emailed with her and Facebook messaged with her, and I think she is interested. And we put it between Masters Cup in Santa Cruz and OTB Open this year so that we could try to get her and maybe some other pros to come out. I think some pros are going to be too scared, though. They're too scared to play the course, too scared to stand up to locals and try to be a world champion. We'll see.
It's like how they can never have 1v1 NBA All-Star,
Exactly. You don't want to get showed up.
Nobody wants to get embarrassed on television.
Drew Gibson doesn't want to get dunked on by this guy. He's too scared.
Can you hang with just a polecat, right? Exposed.
Exactly. Eric Oakley, Drew Gibson, Nathan Queen, people like this, they're too scared to come and play us.
So, do you have plans to try to make this into a real thing? I mean, the fact that you're getting over 100 people this year, obviously it sounds like it's still pretty informal, but is there enough momentum behind this for this to become a real thing?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I think, it depends on what you mean by real. I think it is, it's totally real now, and it is informal and it's fun and goofy. And part of the, I think, appeal of it is sort of the slapdash nature of it. And part of the appeal of it is the fact that, this is not the Destroyer Championships or the Judge Championships or the Zone Championships or whatever, name your most kind of iconic disc. It's an underappreciated, sort of stepbrother type disc that, a small but mighty community loves. And so I think part of it is that we want to keep it casual and goofy and informal. And then also, part of it is it's really fun and people like that kind of casualness of it. And so the lightheartedness of it is making it bigger and bigger because people are kind of embracing that, I think.
Why do you think, I mean, this is such a, I guess cult following is the best way to put that. What is it about the Polecat that attracts that kind of cult following and has the opportunity to create this community that I think, is an excellent community, both in San Francisco and then on social media?
Yeah, I think, so we've got this Facebook group, Polecat People, which people should definitely join and enjoy. And, the tone in that group online and the tone in real life in our SF club and, now with people coming in this year, the tone is really sort of, brotherly and sisterly, and people don't get enough of that, I think, online for sure. And, I like to troll online and I like to mess around online and make jokes and all that. But, one tone that we've really tried to set in the Polecat group in real life and online is just have fun, support each other. Somebody posts a picture of a brand new champion Polecat, like it, ooh and ah over it, and really no infighting, no bitching, no complaining, no trolling. I think part of the fun of this community and this disc is that it's inclusive, it's goofy. Nobody here is trying to be the next 1,000 rated player. It's really just to come out and have fun. Polecat World Championships, by the way, is free. Anybody can play at any time. And so that's kind of the tone that we've tried to set.
I have no idea if I'm going to be, it's going to be possible for me to be out in San Francisco during those dates. If so,
You're
I'm going to
in.
have to borrow a Polecat from you because I don't have one. But
You're in. You can borrow an
I'm
old school
100%
one
in.
from me.
I love it.
I'd love to.
By
have
the
you
way,
there.
great beginner disc.
Oh yeah,
Very, very straightforward beginner disc.
for sure. Yeah, dead straight. And if you've got less time in the sport and you don't have as much snap, or a kid or anything like that. I mean, I've got two sons who are 9 and 7. They're throwing it in the yard. They're throwing them at Golden Gate Park. It is a very, very beginner friendly disc for sure.
All right. Somebody posted a poll on Disc Golf Debate Group on Facebook. They said, assuming unique color and stamp color combinations and plenty of availability, how many Halo Polecats would the Innova Factory Store sell in the first week of sales? Now, the winning vote in this vote is 75,000 to 150,000, which obviously everyone's in on the joke.
High.
Everyone's in on the joke. But how many do you think they could sell?
Well, it's funny. So I had some notes here, to chat with you guys, and I know you guys love over-unders. And so that was one of my exact questions, was over-under day one. If Innova came out with a Halo Polecat with a ton, assume unlimited drop, day one drop, the over-under they would sell in day one, I would set the over-under at about 7,500.
Wow.
I was thinking 5,000, but when you think about all the Halo enthusiasts, all the Polecat enthusiasts, all the meme people out there, the PDJ Rodman effect, the Innova generalists in general, I think they could sell 7,000, 8,000 in one day.
I'll take the over on 7,500.
I don't know if I want the under, but I guess I'm stuck with it. I actually think you're right, though, because when you watch the Halo collector groups, as soon as any Halo disc is put up on the site, they buy them all, and then they turn around and sell them and scalp them online. So I could fully see 8,000 Polecats going. So in addition to this question about, I guess, sales a little bit in demand, don't champion Polecats go for an obscene amount of money?
Yeah, I mean, it's fluctuating a little bit. It's come down a little bit from maybe where it was 6 months or a year ago, I would say. I think there was a peak of like 300 or so for a new gorgeous Champ Polecat. And, now I would say a new pretty like orange, blue, red, yellow Champ Polecat, probably 150, 160, something like that. Although in the Polecat people group, somebody had one up there a couple of days ago that it was pristine condition, and it had the Innova Team Europe stamp on it, which I guess, pretty rare, pretty hard to see, hard to find. And that one went for like 340 or something ludicrous, where it was like, wow, we're back, peak of the market again on this on this specialized one.
So which European is throwing a Polecat? That's what I wanted.
I have no idea. I mean, they're all welcome, and they're all welcome to. I'd love to have any of the European players, FPO, MPO, all of them should come to Polecat Worlds this summer too, if they'll be in the States.
All right, can you show us your most prized Polecat?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, to be honest, so I've got a bunch up in the museum, in the archives upstairs in my bedroom. But to be honest, what I've realized about myself is the old school double circle stamp from like mid 90s. The Polecat was PDJ approved late 94, and so these, the double circle is really what I'm after these days. I've got a thrower G-Star. I've got a pristine G-Star up in a bag. I've got a couple Champ Polecats, but really, my collecting energy has sort of waned down to just trying to find the double circle ones. Those are my babies now.
What would you estimate the value of your Polecat collection to be?
Oh God. I'm going to keep my voice down so my wife doesn't hear this. It's not insane. I mean, it's more than most people, but there's a couple people in the Polecat group who definitely have a bigger and better collection than mine. I would say probably 85 discs total, maybe average out to $20-25 each. So what is that? What's that math? 1,600?
1,800, something like that.
Somewhere 1,600 to 2,000, somewhere in that range.
Do you only throw the baseline, or do you
money well spent?
Do you throw premium as well?
So in my actual day-to-day bag, where I'm playing the GGP weekly and whatnot, I bag a DX Polecat and a G-Star Polecat as throwers. And then my recommendation and my strategy for playing the World Championships, which I finished first, second, and third in the last 3 years, I like to get a brand new DX Polecat straight out of the bag, never thrown, because at least, if it's brand new, it'll still have a little bit of stability to it. You can still bend a little bit to the left at the start of the round. And then, by the end of the round, it's getting more and more understable, even with just 50 throws on it. By the end of the round, you're really dropping down kind of ultimate Frisbee style to get it to fly straight.
So, I mean, this is like an interesting thing to me and like a phenomenon that people have kind of rallied around, because it feels like something that's just like purely joyous and has no negativity or other drama associated with it, which is like a rare oasis in disc golf, right. I feel like. Do you think that that's part of the appeal here, that it's just like everyone is glad to be a part of this fun thing and there's no, nobody complaining about whatever, issue of the day? Yeah.
And, that's what I'd really like to see, even in the way that people have dealt with Innova online, constant, they come out with a Halo Thunderbird or a Halo Savant or a Halo Valkyrie, and the second and third and eighth and 10th comments are all Halo Polecat, Halo Polecat, Halo Polecat. People are still being respectful and funny and goofy and kind to Innova. And, it's, I think in that spirit, it's really fun. And I do think that whether it's consciously or subconsciously, people enjoy the silliness of it and the carefreeness of it and kind of the fun of it, as opposed to, it's not competitive. Even at Worlds, it's always been just friends. There was a 3-way playoff at Worlds last year, and the dudes could have shared the title or played off, and see who would win. And it was all casual and fun. So I think the spirit of the Polecat is one of casual and fun and camaraderie for sure.
Is there a prize for winning?
Yeah, we actually have a trophy. We have a really sick plaque with annual, engraving, kind of like employee of the month type thing that you would see at Wendy's or Burger King or whatever. But it's a mounted Polecat on a nice wooden plaque. And then, it's got 12 nameplates, 3 of which are filled out now. And it's currently in the home of the defending world champion, Marco Benitez, here in San Francisco. And he's going to come out and try to defend it this May against, me and Dylan and Greg and Derek and all the locals, plus presumably Maria Oliva and Drew and Eric Oakley and Heimberg and all those guys too.
So I listened to a podcast, and during the presidential campaigns, they would ask every presidential candidate in the Democratic primary if they would commit to removing daylight savings if they won president. I feel like the Halo Polecat Championship needs to be our thing now. Every interview we do, we just have to say, do you commit to playing in the Halo Polecat Championships and putting it on your tour?
Do you have what it takes to go and play?
Do you have what it takes to take 16 pars and 2 birdies and win a world title? This is going to be a lot of people's only chance for a world title. So we want to see as many, AMs and pros out there.
What's the best score? What's the hot score of the Halo Polecat or the Polecat Championship?
Yeah, so it's always at Golden Gate Park, so it's all par 3s. Year 1, 54 par was the winner. Year 2, 53, and last year 52. So we're getting better and better. We're reaching peak Polecat. I think that, it's not a long course, but then again, it's not a long disc. I think some folks out there, even within the club, not actual pros, but I think there's probably a -3 or a -4 possible. I do think that a pro like Calvin or Proctor or somebody like that could come out and shoot a 4 or 5 down also. So I think 4 is out there.
-3.5 over under, Josh. Winning score of the 2022 Halo Polecat.
I'm gonna take the under on that one. It's progressing by a stroke each time, so I'm going to stick with the pattern.
Yeah.
All right. So last thing, like San Francisco Disc Golf Club just seems like a great community, big time club in a major city, kind of a rare combination. you've been involved, obviously. I don't know how long you've been an officer. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that, and just like what makes the San Francisco community a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge club. It's like you said, it's a city environment, so people are tightly packed together, and people can, people have roomed together, people have carpooled together to things. 600 members in 2021, which I think made us the second biggest club in the world after maybe just Charlotte, North Carolina. And what makes it great, I would say, is really excellent leadership, coming from Sean Mercy down the line. A beautiful urban course in Golden Gate Park. And then maybe above all, the fact that really, unlike Charlotte or Austin or certain places out and about, we really have just the one course. We have Golden Gate Park. We have Glen Eagles, although to be honest, that's a bit of an afterthought at this point. So everything goes down at Golden Gate Park, and you see friends there for doubles. You see friends there for glow. You see friends there on the weekly every Sunday morning. And it's really an awesome, tight community where you can really find your group, because it's, 500, 600 people. You can find your crew of 10 to 15 friends, and then also have the larger community to hang out in, birthday parties, barbecues, casual events, Polecat Worlds, you name it. There's everything that you could want. And to be honest, a little shout out here for the Golden State of Mind documentary that Corey did for Disc Golf Network. That's a great look into our club and into what makes it tick.
Well, Harper, thank you so much for stopping by. I honest to God, I hope I can play in this event at some point in the next couple of years. And I will be one of the 7,500 people buying a Halo Polecat.
For sure.
And
for sure. I want you guys both there.
But I need that. I need that.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate the time here today. I want you guys both at Polecat World sometime soon. And yeah, Halo Polecat, hashtag Polecat World Chef 4. Be there May 16th to 18th. Some of the pros are too scared, but we'll see who comes out.
All right. Harper Alexander with us here on the Upshot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.